Welcome back to Hook Boxing. Today we're joined by William 666 Weber, 11-1, former only through vacating Southern Area champ, and has an English title eliminator coming up. How are we? Or how are you? Well, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, mate. Yeah, just training along and getting ready for this final eliminator now. Yeah.
Yeah. So something I do here is the first question is actually not from me, it's from the last boxer that I interviewed. And then
Yeah.
at the end, I'll ask you for a question for the next guy. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
ongoing thing. And
Right.
first question is actually, if there's something you could change about boxing to improve it, what would you change? Or how would you change it?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'd have to just go with the judging, I think.
Yeah.
Not just sorry, I'll elaborate on that a bit. Not just like the judges in the way that sometimes I know sometimes scores aren't that great and stuff,
Yeah.
but I mean more in the ways of like I always think that the judges should be seated above the ring, because I always think that you can when just from being at your call, fighting at your call, when you're on the balcony gives the best view. So I
Yeah.
think being above the ring, you can see literally everything, and then being below the ring, you sometimes miss like certain bits of the fight, and like certain
Yeah.
punches or whatever. So I would change the judging. Yeah.
I think a lot of people will agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of people would agree with that,
Yeah. I mean,
especially
yeah.
Jack
Like I say,
Cattle.
sometimes you get iffy scores as well, but there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about that. Yeah.
And true. We're gonna start. Well, actually, I'm gonna start off just sort of amateur career.
Mm.
You start boxing at 11. Am I right in saying that? Or around
Yeah,
then?
yeah. It was about sort of 11, 10, 11, 12. Not really sure exactly when, but yeah, start
Yeah.
around then. Yeah.
And then, so your dad, Paul Weber. I'm hoping I've got his
Mm.
name right. He was
Yeah,
taking you
yeah.
there and like helping out the coaching, or at least supervising yourself. Or
Yeah, so he was always like he's always massively been interested in boxing. So
Hmm.
yeah, he loved it when I started boxing, and he was taking me to the gyms and to the clubs and all, getting involved, and helping me doing training like sort of when I wasn't like at the clubs 3 nights a week or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then he's just sort of carried on from there. He got his like amateur coaching license, and now he's got his like pro coaching license. So yeah, he's so interested in it, and he's done it all, and he's like heavily invested in it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did he ever box?
No, he was a swimmer and then a bodybuilder.
All
So
right.
he's never ever boxed, but he
Just
loves it, and
loves it. Yeah.
he's always said to me like if he was to go back, he would have definitely given boxing a go. It's one of
Yeah.
the sports he'd love to have tried. Yeah.
Hmm. He's still part of your coaching team, isn't he?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
my coach now. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Why did you start at 11? Because I know you started and I know your dad loves it, but why did
yeah.
you do it?
So I don't. Well, that's the thing. It was always like I was always a fat kid, so I was like literally. I think like 8 years old. I was like 8 and a half stone. At 8 years
Okay.
old, so I was big. And yeah, I said, oh, I want to. It was like we were sitting there one weekend. I was sitting with my dad and we was watching one of the Rocky films came on.
Yeah.
And it's like all the inspirational music that comes on, and I was like, oh, I'd like to give boxing a go. And he was like, oh, yeah, no, that'd be great, but I think he was like trying to say in a nice way, like I think you need to
Yeah.
lose a
Yeah.
bit of weight first. So I lost a bit of weight, and then we just started boxing. So really, yeah, it's from one of the Rocky films, like got me interested in it. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah. Rocky movies are great. Absolutely.
Oh, it's great.
I
The
know.
you can't. It's so like cheesy and that, but you cannot beat the Rocky music like training to. It's just
Mm,
brilliant. It's brilliant.
I know. Is
Yeah.
that your favorite movie, would you say? Or is that definitely up there at least?
It's up there, but like favorite, especially like as sports boxing movies go. Oh, I can't for the life of me remember the name of the boxer. Is it some? But the film is Bleed for This.
Yeah.
It's such a good film. It's something. Hazienza, I think his name. Oh yeah, I can't remember that's bad because it's like one of my favorite sports films. I can't remember his name in it.
Yeah.
But it's like a true story about this boxer, and he gets in a car accident when he's young, and yeah, he's
I
like
know. Yeah,
paralyzed.
I know what you mean. I've
He's
not
wearing
seen
like
it, but
yeah,
I
this
know.
like head brace and everything, and then he comes back and like wins the world title, and
Yeah.
it's just such a good film. It's
Mm.
just brilliant.
See,
Just
I've
sort
got
of
I've got a bucket list of ones I want to watch. I want to watch Raging
mm.
Bull. That's one. That's the next one I want to watch.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it Martin Scorsese who did that? I think. I don't know,
yeah,
but
yeah. There's some good ones.
yeah. Just sort of going to the early side of your career, and then we'll come on to the current aspect. I only want to go
Yeah.
on to the early side. We're not going to talk about your loss too much because,
No, honestly, it don't bother me. Talk about it as much as you want.
well, the reason I don't want to talk about it more is because it happened and it was so long
Mm.
ago. It's like, well, it's done now, and you've got a
Yeah,
Southern title. You hopefully, Schumann, all goes well, going to be fighting for an English at some point. So it's like
yeah,
it's old news. I'm not overly fussed by it. I mean, we will talk about it, obviously, but I
yeah,
wanted to talk more about you were on the Next Gen shows with Eddie Hearn
yeah,
or under Eddie Hearn's promotion. And for
yeah.
anybody that doesn't know the caliber of man that I'm interviewing at the moment, the other people on these shows include, I've got the list because I couldn't remember it all. We got Felix Cash, Conor Benn, Lawrence Okoli, Joe Cordina, Joshua Buatsi, Ted Cheeseman, Charlie Edwards, Isaac Chamberlain, Natasha Jonas, and Harlem Eubank, who were featured on the first two of those Next Gen shows.
Yeah,
And then, of course, William Webber,
yeah.
which puts a lot of context into how highly rated you must have been at that point in time.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah. You don't like really realize it at the time. You're just,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you just go through it. It's just life. But yeah. I mean, looking back at it, yeah, it was sort of, yeah. I guess it was a big deal. I guess, yeah. I mean, I didn't. I'm like, I'm not just saying that. Like, I always feel like I try to go sort of quite. I'm quite. I don't like people always say that I don't sort of big myself up enough.
Yeah.
But I feel like I feel like I'm just being sort of down to earth with it, I'm just a human being, the same as anyone else. But yeah, like I suppose, yeah, it was a big deal. But yeah, that's like, yeah, we're looking back at like one experience to fight on one of them for one of your first fights, one of those shows. It was, yeah, unbelievable. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I wanted to ask about is that you go from that and then you've got another
Mm.
version of that. I mean, I just named all the fighters across
Mm.
the two instead of just the one.
Yeah.
And in the second show that you're on with the Eddie Hearn and all these other fighters, you then get knocked out. Okay, for whatever reason it
Mm.
happens. It does happen. That is boxing. That's why boxing's brilliant.
Yeah.
You're then not on an Eddie Hearn show again.
Yeah.
How did that feel? That must be quite hard. Or it
Yeah,
must
that
have
was
been hard.
yeah. Yeah, like that. It was hard. It was, you know, it's it's just one of them things. Like, I mean, yeah, like after like what happened, I was completely just distraught. It was like sort of going in through my head, like, shall I just give up?
Yeah.
Is it that sort of stuff. And yeah, it was like I just completely switched my phone off for like, I don't know, like a couple of months or something. Didn't want to see anyone, talk to anyone about it. Yeah, like it was
Yeah.
hard. But then I think, yeah, like I knew after deciding I was going to come back, I was going to give it another go. It was like, okay, I know this is going to be hard. Like, I'm obviously not going to step in at one of these big shows anymore. I've lost
Yeah.
that chance. I've got to really like go, really like from the bottom and go again. Yeah, and it was like I say, it was hard, and yeah, like, I think not mentally. Like I still had the confidence in my head. I still knew that I could do it, and I was good enough. It was just I just basically what happened, and that was it. Didn't get the chance to be on the shows anymore. So that was that really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like from a personal level, if that
Mm.
happened to me where I've gone from a show of that caliber to then knocked out, I would be annoyed that I'm not on the next one. Just like, okay, I've lost, yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm still talented. It's not like I'm not the
Mm.
same guy.
Yeah.
Were you not at all? I mean, obviously you say about this turning your phone off, so you were clearly not okay with the situation of losing, but
Yeah.
Were you a little bit like, I can't, like, angry at Eddie Hearn, at these guys for not putting you back on, or did you just not?
I mean, I wasn't angry. I feel like you. I'm always very like calm in situations, so I feel
Yeah.
like you can't get angry with it because I feel like if you get angry with it, it just makes the whole situation worse. Like
Mm.
I always, yeah, try to just remain really calm and like level headed with it. And yeah, like I think after I decided that I was gonna carry on, I I sort of just knew straight away this is what I'm gonna have to do. I'm not gonna be on those shows anymore. It's
Okay.
that's how it is. I think I had accepted that um myself really anyway.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like what's happened has happened, and you know, like you say, it's boxing. It happens. There's nothing you can do about it. So you know,
Yeah.
it's just move on.
Best people in the world do lose. There's very few
Yeah, of course
that
it is.
don't,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
not a
that's
big
it.
deal. Um, yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Because I personally, I think I'd be throwing my toys out the pram. Like, why am I not? You know,
Yeah,
I
I
would
know what
be
you're saying.
sulking. I'd be sending emails. I'd be commenting just
Yeah,
like under fake names, just like oh, "fuck you" and all of this. Yeah. But, we'll move on. We'll move on because I think, again,
that's
like I
right.
said, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
point talking about your loss. There's so so long ago, it
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
matter.
fair
And
enough.
since then, consecutive wins, titles, and
Mm,
eliminators. So who cares?
mm.
Actually, every fight at York Hall,
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant. It's the home of
Mm.
British boxing, and you get to
Yeah.
say that. Obviously, I know you're going to want at some point to step up and go to like a bigger
Yeah.
venue, but it's a pretty good place to have your career going at, isn't it?
Oh, honestly, yeah. Like I'm chuffed. Like it's great, man. Like it. I've been to obviously watching other people at other venues, and
Yeah,
to me, yeah, your call's just is absolute like top tier. It's just
yeah.
brilliant. The whole atmosphere in there, it's just fantastic. It's brilliant.
Mm.
You and like you say, it's the literal home of like boxing, British boxing. You can't beat it. You
No, no.
can't.
Like you go there, and if there's 10 people screaming, the whole place is gone nuts. Like
Mm,
that's how it goes. It doesn't need, even though it does get it, it doesn't need the thousands of people all sort of up for it. It needs 20 people from a certain fan base
yeah,
in that fight, and
yeah, that's
it's
it.
incredible.
Yeah, you
To
hear it, you
win,
feel it. It's just brilliant. Just yeah.
yeah, is fighting under that atmosphere, is that good or well? Not, it wouldn't be bad, but is that like a bit of pressure or is it good pressure?
I think I feel like it can be like when you come out and you hear all the noise because it's so like enclosed.
Yeah.
It's so loud in there, and I think as well because it's enclosed. Once you get everybody in there and it's packed, it gets really hot.
Oh yeah.
Especially like under the actual lights of the ring. It's so hot in there. So yeah, I guess it can do, but I feel like it's your job as a boxer to keep cool and be adjusted to that.
Yeah.
Not get put off by it.
Yeah.
Mm.
True. Because I've sat not ringside. I've sat on the floor quite close. It was like I think an
Yeah,
18th birthday present, and I remember boiling. I think
yeah,
that
it's
was
hot. Yeah,
March or so when it's like yeah.
yeah,
So I can only imagine it under the lights as well.
yeah,
Difficult.
it's hot.
Yeah. You've had a bit of in terms of who you fought. It's been quite in terms of record up and down.
Mm.
Not a negative comment from me. Just I think it's a point of interest of you've gone from. So I've got it here because it's difficult to remember all the names. Kind
That's all
of
right.
losing records up to Michael Gazdic, who's 4-3, and
Mm.
then after that you ended up fighting Louis Van Pooch again, who had
Mm.
somehow racked up 60 more losses in that less than 3 year time period, which is just journeyman classic. And then you went Max Lovell 7-0.
Yeah.
And it's like that is a jump and a half to go. Calamide, no wins, 32 losses, 2 draws. Max Lovell 7-0.
Mm.
It's like that. Was that at any point an issue? Not an issue that you were ever going to go, oh, I don't know if I want to take this fight issue, but in your head, kind of thinking, am I actually ready for that?
I feel like I mean, all like to say, so some of the fights that I did have, I know the opponents were like my previous opponent pulled out, so they were like last minute replacements.
Oh,
That's like
okay.
all we could get. So is a case of either you fight this person or you don't fight at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously you still want to keep like active, still keep fighting, even though you're still learning. Like whoever, no matter who you fight, you're still learning your craft and stuff. But it didn't like really bother me, no, because I felt like I always, I feel like it's just the belief in yourself. Like I know I put in hard work, I know what I do in sparring,
Mm,
and I know what I'm capable of. So it didn't really bother me that much, no.
yeah. Well, I think I did the maths, and between your loss, second fight up till your most recent win, you've lost something
Mm.
like 5 rounds total, or something
Yeah,
incredibly low, maybe 7. Sorry, so I've missed the recent one, but it's
yeah,
like 7 rounds, and like you say, the judges and especially York Hall are like looking up. Well, they're always looking up, but
mm.
York Hall's
Yeah,
got the balconies. But um, it's like you seem to have just improved to a point. You're just dominating all your fights. I mean, the
mm.
7-0 guy in a Southern Area title fight should be a lot harder than winning 7 rounds. And I've only watched little bits because I can't find the full thing. But from what I did see, it
Yeah,
didn't look, with all respect to him, although I think he's retired
mm.
now, still respect him, but um,
Mm.
it didn't look uncomfortable at many points in that. From
Yeah.
what I've seen, it didn't look uncomfortable at all. I'm just assuming there were
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
certain
I know what you
areas
mean.
that
Yeah,
he
yeah.
might have put an extra gear up, but you must be quietly confident that the English title, okay, yeah, it's going to be harder, but it's probably not going to be, like 1,000 times harder. It might be. So you must have a little bit of not a little bit. You must have quite a bit of self belief that you're going to get in there and do it just as easily as you've done the Southern area.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel like self belief is like so key to this sport because I mean, yeah, I have massive self belief,
Hmm.
and I feel like if you don't have that self belief, you're just in the wrong sport.
Yeah,
I think that's a massive part of it. But I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, like the Southern area, I was happy that I won that. I think it was 7 rounds to 3.
yeah, yeah,
And when I heard the score, I was happy because yeah, it wasn't like oh that was close. It was convincing, and I thought I'd won it convincingly.
yeah,
But yeah, like a credit to Max. I mean, he put up a great fight, and like I say, I got massive respect for him. But yeah, like the English it'll be tough. Like everyone that's out there that's going for it, wants to fight for it. It's they're all tough people. It's all good.
Hmm.
They're all good like boxers, but I know what I'm capable of, and I go in there on the night and just do the best that I can do.
Yeah.
You know,
And you got
yeah,
that southpaw stance. That is always going to help.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think yeah, some people find that a bit awkward, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I think as you go up the ranks now, I don't think it's as big an advantage. But I think at the lower level where there's less amateur experience, definitely seems
yeah.
to be a massive factor.
I think it's the fact, yeah, like when I remember, yeah, when I first started boxing, and yeah, people were like, oh, he's a southpaw. Oh, I hate southpaw. But yeah, you don't hear it anymore. Like,
Mm,
it's like you say, as you go up the ranks and stuff, people aren't bothered. Which I mean is good. It's good because it means they're obviously good and they know what they're doing.
yeah.
You know. Mm.
Um, 666. Let's talk about that
Yeah. Right.
because I
Yeah.
think I heard an interview. I can't remember who it was with. It might have been IFL TV. I think it was
Yeah.
from about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I don't know. It was before your first
Yeah.
fight, I think, explaining about the
Yeah.
666.
Yeah.
And you say it came from a song.
Yeah.
What song was it?
Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden.
Ah, are you a big Iron
Yeah.
Maiden guy?
I'm not, no. Like normally that sort of heavy metal music, like it's not that I don't like it, it's just
Yeah.
it's not normally what I would listen to, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I heard it uh somewhere one day, yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, 666 Number of the Beast. And then it's yeah. Just like I say, when I went to like the amateur gyms and stuff, other dads they'd always say, "Oh, that kid's a beast. He's a beast, that Will," and it just sort of stuck from there, really.
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah. I just
yeah,
wanted to know about the song because I thought when I do the promo for this interview, I'm going to put that song over it.
yeah,
Why not? It makes sense.
yeah, yeah. No, go
Um,
for it. Yeah.
and you're 25 years old. I just want to check that as well.
Yes, yeah, 25. Yeah.
Very young for somebody that's done already not a complete career, but like you've had your loss and then you've had your comeback and you've been on a well, like when you're older and retired, you can say, "Oh, look, I was on a show with these guys," and I think there's about 4 or 5 world champions that have been on there, something like that. But you're only 25, so there's still I don't know how many more years do you want to be in boxing?
I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm just, I just like I say, I just want to go as far as I can go, see how far I can go. Whether that's English, British, European, whatever. If I can go to a world level, that's great. I just want to see how far I can get because I don't want to, like get old or whatever and then go, well, what if? I don't know how good I was. I'd rather get to a level, lose, and then know and be like, well, I gave it my best shot. That's how good I was.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I mean, yeah, I just want to see how far I can go. Really, that's all. But I mean, years left in boxing. Don't know. Depends what I'm like in. Well, however old I am, depends what I'm still fighting.
Yeah. It's not the best question for boxers, that actually, when you're like, because if you get done in your next fight, and you might be like, "Oh shit, your jaw's broke and your face, man." It's like,
that's it. I've had enough. Yeah, like boxing's a funny game. Like there's so much that can happen.
oh
Like
yeah,
you could literally go into your next fight or your next training camp. You could suffer a bad injury, and that's just upset your whole career, and then it is over.
Hmm.
So you really,
Yeah.
really don't know what's going to happen.
Do you feel? Would you be content? I know you said you just want to go as far as you possibly can,
Yeah.
but would you be content if the furthest you can go is the English title, which is still very credible? I'm not saying that it's not, but
Yeah, no. I mean, I'd still be happy, yeah, because I mean, you put a lot of time and effort into it, but again, I feel like boxing's one of them weird sports because it's like I feel like yeah, like people win the English title, but I feel like it's so much harder to win the English title like in boxing than it might be in another sport.
hmm.
I don't know if that's just because I'm a boxer and I'm being biased, but I feel like
Yeah,
it's quite a challenging thing. I suppose it's the same probably any like physical contact sport. It's just the same. It's hard, but yeah, I'd be happy with that. If that really is as far as I can go, then that's it. You
okay.
know, that's it really. Yeah.
That's I'm quite. I think from a personal point, I'm like this is nice because
Yeah.
it means you're gonna be content when it's all over and not searching for another adrenaline rush. And then like we
Yeah.
see with a lot of boxers. From a boxing fan point, I'm like,
Yeah.
no. English title isn't enough. Look who you were fighting with before you got writ
Yeah.
off, basically. And then it's like,
Mm.
and then look how you've done now. No. I want a
Yeah.
British title fight, but
Yeah.
we'll.
No.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
I mean, yeah,
problem with boxing
like
is you just don't
don't
know
get
if
me
you even get.
wrong. No, like yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, I'd love to fight for that, and I believe I can. I
Yeah,
really do believe I can. But yeah, like if something bad happened or I've just managed the English or whatever, I'd still be happy because it's as far as I've got.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My final sort of questions. The first thing is
Hmm.
I've noticed it from the start. Are you in the gym right now, or is that your
Yeah,
house?
I'm in the gym right now. Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
it's sort of
No, that's
yeah,
fine. I was just like, I saw the
yeah.
speed bag, and I was like, at the start, and I was thinking, is he in like his shed or something? He's got a full on
No,
setup. Jeez, that must
no,
not be
yeah,
half easy.
yeah, currently in the gym at the moment. Yeah.
And then moving into a sort of, it's not really a game, it's just an opinions thing, just a professional
Hmm.
boxer's opinion. We've
Yeah.
got some big fights this weekend and some even bigger fights coming up soon. So I'm just going to get your prediction for them.
Yep.
So we've got Buatsi versus Aziz. That's the big one in
Yes,
Britain.
that is.
You
Yeah.
reckon? What do you reckon?
I mean, it's difficult because I love both of those fighters for different reasons, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're both great. And I know obviously they're friends, so I don't know. Does that make it difficult as well? I don't. You know, it's a hard one. I feel like I'm sort of. I feel like I'm backing Aziz, I think,
Mm.
but I'm still a bit like, don't know. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, it's going to be a great fight. I know it's going to be a great fight, and I can't wait to see it. But yeah, I think I'm slightly backing Aziz just because I feel like I don't know. I like him as well. I feel like I really like him, so it could be
Yeah.
that.
I mean, they're both very likable, like you say, but
Yeah, they
I
are. I
think
mean, yeah, I love both of them, but it's yeah.
based on recent performances, I think it's Aziz. I think for me.
Mm,
But then
yeah.
Buatsi could just show up with the talent that he does have, and
Mm,
he could outbox him
yeah.
completely. But I don't know.
That's what I
We'll
mean.
go
Yeah.
to another person fighting this weekend that you fought on the same card as, which is actually a
Yeah.
weird stat that I should have said earlier. Is Conor Benn versus Peter Dobson in
Yeah.
Vegas, which not as big a fight, and I think seems to be struggling a little bit for exposure. But who do you reckon will win that? Although I think,
I mean, it's got to be Conor Benn, really. I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I don't. I got to admit, I don't know masses about the other guy.
no.
But yeah, I'd say Conor Benn all day. I think.
Yeah, it does feel a bit like the fight might be being done because Conor Benn's reputation in England is not the best anymore.
Yeah.
So they just moved
It's
into
not the best.
America and
No.
nah,
Yeah. Yeah.
handled poorly. That whole thing was handled so poorly.
It was
Uh,
a bit, yeah, weird. But there we go.
yeah. I won't ask you if you think he cheated or not because I think that's unfair. And also, I don't want to do that to
Right.
anybody in case. But and we'll go for the big one, and then we'll call
Yep.
it for this. Fury versus Usyk. Who wins that one?
Oh, you see now, this is the thing. It's the hardest one for me because yeah, like other people have asked me this, and I struggle really because I love both of them so much. Like again, for different reasons. Like Usyk's just got such boxing skill, but then so's Fury, and I love
Yeah.
Fury because he's just so funny with it.
Mm.
He doesn't care what he says. And Usyk's a bit more like gentleman-like, and you know. But I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I feel like I want to say that Fury just because of the size and the weight,
Yeah.
and I think that he'll knacker him out. Like just the weight and the size of him will just get to Usyk, I think. But I mean, I still wouldn't write Usyk off. You know, he's a great boxer, and I think if anyone can do it, he's the one to do it.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I sway between the two. I've in a lot of the other
Mm.
in other interviews I've done, I've said Usyk, and then I've been
Yeah.
recently sort of going, nah, but Fury's so much bigger. But then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, but then I saw a thing. I think it was
Yeah.
Darren Seeley who sparred both of them, and he was
Mm.
saying that he thinks Usyk's going to win because Usyk will just calculate him, and after a while the size just won't matter.
Yeah.
But then
See,
I'm
that's
like,
the thing. It's
but
like
Darren Seeley's not Fury, so
I know that's the thing. I really don't know who's cool because it's like Usyk, like you say, he just calculates so much, and he can definitely do it.
mm.
But then Fury's just got that size, and it's like I really don't know.
Yeah,
I really
I
don't
think
know.
I'm so excited for it. There's a promotional video that came out for it today, and I
Mm.
watched like 10 seconds of it, and I thought, I'm going to wait and watch the whole thing and on a bigger screen. But it looks so
Yeah,
cool. It looks so
yeah,
cool. I'm
yeah.
so excited for that. And then, the final thing, which if I don't remember, screws up the next one. One question for the next interview from yourself. So you just have to come up with one question. It can be absolutely anything.
I can ask anything to another boxer. It would probably. All right, I'll tell you what. Because I've been asked this quite a few times by my mates and
Yep.
stuff. It's what is the one thing that you hate the most about like a boxer's lifestyle?
Oh, yeah.
What's the
Okay.
one thing you hate most? Yeah.
I reckon from what I've heard, it'll be hill running, hill sprints.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
seems to be hated by quite a lot of people.
Yeah, it's pretty poor. He'll run
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll diet. That'll diet. That I reckon
I
that's my
think, yeah,
prediction for the answer.
for me, it's got to be the diet. Like when you go into fight camp diet
Hmm.
is hot. Like it's okay. Like I always find it's the like going into fight camp. You start off and it's fine, doesn't bother you, not a problem. It's like the last week. The
Yeah.
last week's just like, right, I'm fed up of this now. I just want to
Yeah.
eat like a big burger or something full of fat, and it's just
Ooh.
like, yeah. But, that would be mine. Yeah. What's the hardest thing about a boxer's
Yeah, I
lifestyle?
like that. That's really good. Okay, well, I've got no more questions. So then the final thing is, do you want to shout anything out? Instagram sponsors or coaches or
Just
whatever?
yeah, follow me on Instagram at William Webber 666. On there, it's got all my social media pages and stuff. And big shout out to my sponsors, which are Maximize Fitness, Russ and Webb, Weber Builders, and then we've got Trilogy Print and Kelly Designs. Big shout out to all of them because without them, I couldn't do this, couldn't do what I do. You know. Yeah.
Nearly screwed up one of the sayings there. Would have got dropped.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
thank you very much for coming on doing this. I really
No,
appreciate it.
cheers.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time. So
No,
yeah,
thank you
and
very
I wish you
much.
the best of luck in your fight.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah.